Welcome to Washington and Saukville communities, and thank you for joining us for this virtual program recognizing Veterans Day. Wherever you are, would you please rise for the posting of our colors and reciting of the Pledge of Allegiance by Student Council President Jojo Zarnecki, and remain standing for the playing of our national anthem.
Present, colors, and salute. Both colors. Two.
I pledge allegiance to the
And
flag
salute.
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Two.
You may be seated. On behalf of Port Washington High School and our student body, I would like to welcome you to our virtual Veterans Day Assembly. Today is a day that we honor and recognize all veterans, those that are living and those that have passed away. I would also like to give a special welcome to our honorees Richard James Ryer, David W. Abramowski, Frederick Wallner, and Alfred Bartelt. Throughout the history of our country, there have been countless individuals who have risked and given of their lives so that we can live the way we do each and every day. These people have possessed an amazing amount of courage, determination, and perseverance. They have instilled a love in our country throughout the nation. These people I speak of are our veterans. On this Veterans Day, we honor those devoted citizens commemorating Veterans Day all over the United States. Veterans are a part of a special group of men and women that have gone through the similar experiences of serving our country. Basic training, all the regimen of military life and defending our country. At one of our Veteran Day assemblies a few years ago, a veteran summed it up, the connection that all veterans have to each other by saying that he knew that everywhere he went in the country, any town, any city, if he needed help or assistance, he could go to any VFW and find someone that would help. Veterans are here to serve forever. Port Washington High School has had a long and proud history of graduates serving in the military, some in wartime and others during peace, at all times ready to protect and defend our nation. We have many others that have gone to foreign wars and have come back to live and build their communities. There are many things we all can learn from these heroes. I think the most important lesson for all of us is the importance of humility. Being humble, even when you have done something great, even when you are a hero. As Emerson once said, true humility is not thinking less of yourself, it is thinking of yourself less. Today I would also like to give a pirate welcome to the VFW and American Legion Post from Port Washington and Saukville and thank them for helping to organize this very special event. It is such a proud moment to be part of this ceremony each year and for showing the respect and dignity for our special guests and their families. Student involvement is also a key aspect to the ceremony. With that said, I would now like to introduce Student Council President Jojo Zarnecki.
Greetings, students, staff, veterans, and guests. Today, we express our gratitude and remembrance of those who have and are currently serving our country in the armed forces. It is your service and sacrifice that has kept our country safe and free. Throughout the history of the United States, individuals like you have sacrificed their time and lives in order to protect the civil liberties we have today. When we and others have been vulnerable, veterans have risen and dedicated themselves to the United States and the principles on which we stand. Serving on the front lines, in the reserves, and in all branches of the military, these people uphold the traits that we value today: strength, determination, and selflessness. Your strength and determination shows us the importance of standing up for what we believe, even when it is difficult. Your selflessness shows us the importance of standing up for those who cannot stand up for themselves. Your sacrifices and the traits you have demonstrated in your service have profoundly impacted our lives, and we thank you. Today, we commemorate true heroes, both the fallen and those who are still fighting today. Veterans, you have given our country an unlimited sacrifice that will not be forgotten. Thank you for your commitment and service, and happy Veterans Day.
Thank you, Jojo. And now I'd like to introduce Jerry Wisco from the Port Washington VFW to MC the rest of today's event.
Our first inductee, honoree, is going to be Richard Ryer, and Post 82 Commander John Jock will introduce him.
At this time, it's my pleasure to indoctrinate Richard James Ryer into this Hall of Fame. Richard was a 1951 graduate of Port Washington High School, where he completed and held school rushing records in football, and for a few years also state champion in track and field in the 200-yard dash. He enlisted after graduating Port Washington High School in the United States Air Force and proudly served his country from 1951 to 1955 in the Korean War. He was a buck sergeant and served as a choreographer in the Korean War. Richard received the Korean Service Medal, the UN Service Nation Self-Defense Service Medal, and a Good Conduct Medal. After his return, he met and married Dorothy and soon after opened a tavern in Port Washington. He became the owner and operator of Richard's Shoes, and Richard also worked for Simplicity Manufacturing and tended bar at Smith Brothers. He was vivid in golfing, loved dancing, and wherever he could bring a smile to all who met him. He was also a huge Green Bay Packer fan. In 1980, he and his son realized their four-long dream and moved to Arizona, where he became the owner and operator of Fairway Shoes in Mesa. Richard ultimately retired in Sun Lakes, Arizona with his wife, where he continued his passion for golf and achieved multiple holes in one. After his wife passed and nearly 40 years in Arizona, he decided to come back to his childhood home. Richard passed away peacefully on September 10th, 1920. He was survived by his son and daughters, and was previously lost his wife prior to this. Thank you.
Next, we have two honorees from the Post 470 in Saukville, Fred Wallner and Alfred Bartelt. And Commander Denise Abramowski is going to introduce them.
Thank you, Jerry. It's my honor to introduce our first nominee, Fred Wallner. It is with great pride and honor that our nominee for the Wall of Honor is Fred Wallner. Fred Wallner started in his freshman year at Port Washington High School in 1956 and graduated in 1963. However, while his graduating class walked across the stage, Fred was sitting on a crowded train bound for basic training at Fort Knox, Kentucky. His military commitment started and continued for 3 years to serve his country in the United States Army. His MOS, which means his job title, was a track and wheel vehicle mechanic and track recovery specialist. His military training at Fort Knox, Kentucky included basic infantry, then on to advanced individual training in his MOS of 6.3 C-20, which after completion achieved the rank of E5 Specialist 5. After completing this training, Fred was then assigned to the 2nd Hochweizer Battalion, 34th Field Artillery Service Battery in the Platoon Maintenance Division in Nuremberg, Germany for the next 1.5 years. Fred received the National Defense Medal, the Good Conduct Medal, as well as Expert Rifle and Pistol Qualification Medal. Fred returned home and married his lovely wife, Patty. They were married for 52 years. They have 2 amazing daughters and 2 amazing grandsons. Fred enjoyed fishing and hunting, especially with his grandsons. Fred was also a motorcycle enthusiast. Fred worked in the trucking industry, traveling extensively for 25 years, then another 25 years in manufacturing, and retired as a controlled inspector. Fred was a member of the Landfill Post 470, American Legion in Saukville, Wisconsin for 14 years. During those 14 years, Fred demonstrated his concerns of his fellow veterans and their families. Fred served in many positions in the American Legion Post 470. Fred was a post commander for 1 year, my post chaplain for 10 years, Ozaki County chaplain for 2 years, and was a member of our honor guard. As post chaplain, Fred was always aware of any sick members and would send them cards, make them phone calls, and would visit when he could. As a member of the honor guard, Fred marched in many parades as well as participating in dedication ceremonies. At Memorial Day and Veterans Day, as being acting chaplain, Fred would partake in the post-everlasting ceremony, did the invocation and the benedictions at post meetings, PWMIA ceremony, and helped organize and provide over the program of the Fort Chaplain ceremony that we hosted at our post. At military funerals, Fred would accompany the commander leading the walkthrough of Legion members to say farewell to our comrade and present a Bible of religious preference to the family member. Fred also took great pride in our Legion by being on many of the committees. He was a Brock Fry chairman, was on the Finance Committee, E-Board Committee, PR Committee, Setup Committee, and helped in many other ways at the Legion Hall. Fred was an amazing person. He always had a kind, leading hand if you needed it, and there he was when you needed to talk to someone. It was an honor to have had the pleasure of knowing such an extraordinary fellow veteran. These attributes and dedication to our principles of the American Legion for God and country make us very proud that he was going to be put on the Wall of Honor displayed at this wonderful Port Washington High School. Thank you, and God bless America, and God bless you all. Now I would like to present Patty, Fred's wife, for a few words. Patty?
I just wanted to say this is truly an honor Fred would have been proud of. Thank you all of you very much.
Thank you, Patty. My second inductee is Alfred Bartelt. He attended 4 years at Port Washington High School and graduated June 1958. Alfred joined the Army in October of '58. He took basic training at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. After that, he went to Fort Monmouth, New Jersey for 30 weeks of training in the cryptographic equipment repair, and then to Fort Riley, Kansas. He had top secret clearance for the cryptographic area. After his military service, he went to college and got a job at Square D Company as an electrical engineer. He married his beautiful wife, Carol, and had 3 children, Jeffrey, Michael, and Amanda, 2 grandchildren, Carissa and Nicholas, and 2 great-grandchildren, Dominic and Hazel. In retirement, he is a coordinator with the American Red Cross and association with the blood drives at St. Matthew. The Red Cross honored Alfred as one of their brave heart heroes for the work that he is doing. I would like to now present Alfred for a few words, please. Alfred? Alfred, here's Alfred.
First, I would like to thank the Lord for all the blessings and guidance He has given me in my life. I would like to thank the American Legion for recommending me to be placed on the Wall of Honor at the Port Washington High School. Also, I would like to thank the Port Washington High School for placing my name on the Wall of Honor. Thank you to everyone for this honorable distinction.
At this time, I would like to just present a certificate of honor. One to Alfred. It says a certificate is presented to honor Alfred in the honor of recognizing him for outstanding veteran who is being placed on the Wall of Honor. I'd like to present one to Alfred. Alfred, come back up here, sorry. Comes again. There we go, certificate of honor. Thank you so much, Alfred.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Patty, would you like to come up, please? Also, this is a certificate of honor for Fred. Thank you so much for representing him. Thank you. Thank you.
Our next honoree is David Abramowski, and commander of the BW Post 5373, Craig Heatwall, will introduce you.
I'm proud to be able to present David Abramowski as a candidate for Port Washington High School's Wall of Honor. Born December 30th, 1950 in Milwaukee, David grew up in Port Washington and graduated from Port Washington High School in the class of 1970. After high school, he joined the United States Air Force and served with distinction in Vietnam. Following his military service, David worked in the airline industry and raised his family. He enjoyed his children and grandchildren, as well as camping, fishing, and gardening. His exposure to Agent Orange in Vietnam created a multitude of health problems for him. He suffered from these problems for a long time. They eventually became chronic, and like many veterans, he was overcome. David passed at the young age of 68 in June of this year. VFW Post 5373 is proud to recognize David Abramowski for the Port Washington Wall of Fame, High School Wall of Fame. May his memory encourage the best in all of us. Thank you.
Honor Guard, prepare to fire.
Tell me where is the road I can call my own, that I left, that I lost so long ago. All these years I have wandered, oh, when will I know? There's a way, there's a road that will lead me home. After wind, after rain, when the dark is done, as I wake from a dream in the gold of day, through the air there's a calling from far away. There's a voice I can hear that will lead me home. Rise up, follow me, come raise the call, with the love in your heart as the only song. There is no such beauty as where you belong. Rise up, follow me, I will lead you home.
Please rise. For a moment of silent reflection. Uncover. Cover. Honor Guard. Salute the fallen heroes.
Orange spot, hit, hut. Work, off. Aim. Fire. Aim. Fire. Aim. Fire. Present. Halt. Bugler.
Color Guard Commander, retire the colors. Two. Thank you, everyone.
And this concludes today's Veterans Day event. Thank you very much to all of our veterans, and thank you for your service. And happy Veterans Day, everyone.